Ready?
Those PlayStation cassettes.
If it wasn't blowing on the cartridge, the other solution was to just smack the console.
Did you know Mario was not called Mario? He was initially called Jumpman.
Good retro games though, like Sonic. You know,
Oh,
Sonic
man.
was obviously competing with Mario.
Yeah, Sonic was, yep. ...2018 and Ragnarok are very, very heavy story games.
Star Wars had their own arcade games.
They
as
did.
Well.
Galaga was a famous one.
Galaga,
I love that. Look, I'm not saying don't play them at all. Play whatever the hell you want.
No, you said both games are trash.
I don't like them, and I do think they're trash. I love the manual for the very first Super Mario Brothers game though, because the like that's how they told stories, or the major like setup for the story was in the manual.
Right.
And it's talking about like, oh, meet our hero, or is he Mario?
Yeah, back in the day, games didn't have stories. Like, you'd have to read off a manual or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now, there's an expectation for stories to be embedded in the game.
Yeah, like look at how God of War transitioned from the original trilogy. Right, they still had story, yeah, but that was kind of just running gently alongside the majority of gameplay. But then 2018 and Ragnarok are very, very heavy story games.
Yeah.
And you have to spend time just wandering through like open fields or these pathways where your characters just talk.
Yeah.
Because like back in the day, you might just have like one screen with like scrolling text, and that's all the exposition you get.
Got mixed reviews, God of War.
Hmm.
Especially the second one where he's building bond with his son. And then the third one is just another one where it's just continuous. So people have given mixed reviews because God of War originally was meant to be this action-filled, super exciting, just killing non-stop game, and then it turned out to be, they changed it to
Story
like, very
heavy.
story heavy. Like you can almost like, go on YouTube and then type in God of War, the new ones, and then just watch it like a movie. It's almost become like that.
It is
And
that good.
I like the way. See, I don't know. I really love them. I reckon they're great.
It is.
If I remember when they were coming out with 2018, and their whole thing was like, oh, we've got this gimmick where if you don't pause the game or you don't go into a menu at any point, or anything like that, gameplay seamlessly transitions into cutscenes with no like black screen or loading screen or anything. You just walk through a door. There's meant to be a cutscene, and the camera just keeps moving, and you're in the cutscene, and then it fades back into gameplay. It's really, really cool if you can play a game without opening a menu.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like them as much, but specifically for them, I think if you look at the whole series, right, just the main entries, and go, oh, this is a natural progression. I feel like he should be here after the time he's spent doing everything else he was doing in the old games. I don't mind that it's slower, that it's more methodical, and that there is an emotional story meant to be attached to it. I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite or least favorite games from each era? What would you guys say? Obviously, we haven't touched upon a lot of the games from the 80s because there's so many to talk about. You have Final Fantasy, you have freaking, I don't even know if I should mention some of the other arcade games that were popular, but then they faded back in,
It's just,
that time.
Look, we could do 10 hours on just arcade cabinets if you
honestly.
really want.
Star Wars had their own arcade games.
They
as
did.
well.
Star Wars had a lot of games, actually.
Yeah.
Galaga was a famous one.
Galaga.
I love that.
Yeah.
Best and worst from each of us?
Yeah,
You mind if I go?
for sure.
All right. So I got Final Fantasy VII as my all-time top favorite game. And if I had to pick a least favorite, one I would never touch again, Condemned 2.
Whoa. What was that game about?
That was a PS3 game, and it was like you were meant to be like this drunken cop that's like got having nightmares and shit. And you go through in a first-person view with your fists, and like each bumper is a fist, and you uncover some fucking conspiracy. And it was just so boring. Like the combat was not fun, not engaging. The lighting is just that. Like I know a lot of people talk about the horrible, muddy browns and grays of like that particular generation, but it was egregious, awful. And then I could not, to save my life, tell you the story, and that's very rare that I don't remember it. Awful game.
Pretty much. I did not grow up with video games because my parents forced me to play outside. I don't know if young kids can do that nowadays without adult supervision, but I used to play outside without adult supervision. And
Whoa, very dangerous, Raja boy. Oh my god.
back in the
your
day,
backyard or
huh?
in your backyard or on the street?
There was a park in front of our apartments. I played football with a bunch of Afghan guys, and it was so fun because they were like teenagers, and I was like probably 7 or 8. So their power when they shot, like they kicked the ball,
Unreal.
it's way.
He's just coming home with bruises every fucking day.
I would, and then once in a while, the ball would hit my stomach, and I could definitely feel my insides being rearranged, possibly.
Correct. Yeah, when I would play soccer with, Omani kids, and then sometimes would play with like older adults, and the shot power, and I would be like, oh, even just going close to them would be like scary as
Yeah.
you know that you're skillful in other ways, but they've just got so much power. They can just push you around and one hit and you're just like insides in your mouth now.
Yeah,
That's why it's funny when you see a video of a baby getting hit by a ball and they just get fucking flipped.
I'm going to hell for laughing at that.
My first ever game was like like my dad got me an actual mini arcade box with TMNT. It's like a pinball thing.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
TMNT themed pinball machine. So you got your Leonardo, you got your Raphael all in graphics, but then it's a normal pinball machine.
yep.
But then it transitioned over to like a DS for my sister and a Wii for me, a Nintendo Wii.
Okay.
And I used to play FIFA. Sorry, not FIFA. Oh, I did play FIFA then.
On the Wii?
On the Wii, FIFA 09. Yeah, I know.
Well, look, in saying that, I can compete with you. I played Black Ops on the Wii.
What?
Yeah.
Which one?
The first one.
What?
Far out.
That's the best one.
Yeah, not on the Wii, it's not.
Yeah, a lot of games that are meant for PS and Xbox didn't translate well over to the Wii.
Dude,
But-
try playing zombies on the Wii. You can't do it.
But yeah, dude, Nintendo Wii was, I think, one of the best consoles. I know everyone's gonna say NES or Nintendo 60.
Oh, this is a personal opinion?
I think it was. It was
Okay. It's very close to just calling you out there.
there's a Nintendo 64, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
And GameCube. Don't forget the GameCube.
and GameCube. But then Nintendo Wii was so different because it made me move. It forced me to apply motion. Like,
Yeah, okay.
And then Raja kept growing and then started playing with his own Wii.
Whoa! Hey, look. However the fuck you want to get your cardio, I don't care. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, as long as you're playing with something.
I
Like,
go.
you look at your freaking Wii stats, like, oh shit, 1,000 freaking
Yeah.
steps or what?
You've just got the balance board underneath you as your
Wii stats 3 a.m. Wii stats.
waist.
but
Apple Watch saying, why are you running at 3 a.m.?
so my favorite game back then was actually Wii Sports.
He's bland.
I'm bland, but trust me, like imagine you're holding a Nintendo Wii remote and you whack the ball
Oh, you play
with like
baseball?
baseball. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Okay, I did have a Wii. Did you have Wii Sports Resort?
No.
Oh, that was so good. There were so many more sports. You get basically all the same stuff, but better
Yeah.
and more of them. One of them's like a sword fight where you're walking around on the island with this little plastic sword and you just got to beat up all the NPC avatars.
Yeah.
Should go back and play Wii Sports Resort.
But apart from Wii, a good game I think that really revolutionized gaming was Arkham City.
Batman Arkham City.
Yeah, Batman.
Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham
Asylum.
Specifically City though.
Yeah,
Changed.
specifically City. Because if you look into Spider-Man, the new ones on PS, or Ghost of
Amazing games, by the
Tsushima,
way.
or something like that,
Mad Max.
Mad Max, they all copy the game mechanics of Arkham City. I know there were earlier, City copied from earlier games the same mechanics, but City was the one that popularized it. Now you see that being repeated everywhere. So you either got something that's either Arkham City game mechanics or a bit like Souls.
Yeah, Souls-like or
Souls.
Arkham.
Yeah,
Combat. Yeah. I mean, it's a formula that works because if like I play both styles of game, and they both have a lot of good quality to them. But I do see what you're saying that like a lot of games, if you're going to sit down and play a single player game,
yeah.
it's something like that. It's going to be a Souls-like, it's going to be an Arkham style, or
But-
it reminds me of back in the day when they used to have every company would have an IP and they would just slap it on a platform game and they would just kind of use that formula, but then they would put their own twist on it. They would put their own storylines.
Mm.
So it works.
I think you told me about this. There was a side like a 2D game.
platform game.
Yeah, Batman copying some game.
Oh yeah. Batman had it. Aladdin had it. Think of any other like Mario, freaking
like you're just talking about 2D platformers.
2D platformers were copied like hell back in the day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, because at a time that was the best you could manage, unless you wanted, an Atari 2600 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, we have better technology. How do we make this more engaging? Let's
Yeah.
do 2D side scrollers, and you could take any IP, and as long as you aimed it at a particular audience, it's going to sell
Yeah.
because it's new and interesting.
As long as it's good. I mean, Mad Max was amazing. Spider-Man
But-
was awesome. So, I have no complaints.
So yeah, Arkham City, Dark Souls, Nintendo Wii, and I think my all-time favorite, like this is legit number one, is FIFA. Like
Oh.
For real.
I could sit there for like 3 to 4 hours straight with a mate and play it, and I don't realize time has passed because you're so involved. I like the trash talking, the competition.
The rivalry.
Yeah, the rivalry. I like something where you can play multiplayer with the person because then you get all that human interaction, and that's what makes the game more fun.
And you know what? You get to see the real personality of the person. You really grind the person's gear when you score goals, and they can't do anything about it. They're just like burning inside, like, I want to beat the shit out of this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'll pass on FIFA, but I'll come to you when there's Tekken involved.
Oh,
that's a,
Tekken is another one.
that's a
yeah.
great one.
Seconds. Yeah.
That's one of the games of my childhood also.
Yep, just button mashing. I think Tekken invented button mashing. I think.
I mean,
It's like bang, 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 bang.
You had Street Fighter and Mortal
Street
Kombat.
Fighter, yeah.
Mortal Kombat changed the game also.
I
That's
think, I
Mortal
think
Kom-
arcade games were mostly about button mashing, except for like I know there's a bit of finesse to it, but
Yeah.
most of the time it is button mashing.
It was
isn't
about
it?
the correct method of button mashing. The
Yeah.
whatever rhythm to it. That's
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for.
What do you think of sports games, Jax?
Oh, I don't like sports games.
You know, like
Like
What?
if you're gonna play a sport,
Nah,
I'm
don't
not.
talk to me, Jack. No more. Don't talk to me.
Nah,
Uh-huh,
mate.
sure, yeah.
I disagree with you.
You brought up the Doom movie. Your opinion doesn't count.
oh,
No, see, I'm not very good at sports, but at least I try to get in a skateboard every now and then. Try and do something with that. I'll go and play soccer or basketball or cricket, and I know I'm not good, but it's good to get outside and do something active. I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot more engaging to play a physical sport as a physical sport. I just I don't enjoy watching football or sports or anything like that anyway. So it's like, well,
That's a hot take.
I don't want to sit there and just watch a game. Like the game's rigged in my favor if I really want it to be. And if it's not, I don't feel like I'm having a good time because I'm not good enough.
can you call yourself a skater if you're playing Tony Hawk? Come on.
But that's the thing. If you play Tony Hawk as a kid and then you're like, I want to learn to skateboard, go learn to skateboard. Don't just say you like the idea of skateboarding.
What if the person's disabled and the only way they could experience doing something like that is through sports games?
Yeah, and plus, what if you don't have enough people to play a match of soccer? That
Look, I'm not saying don't play them at all. Play whatever the hell you want.
no, you said sports games are trash.
I don't like them, and I do think they're trash. And I really do like the idea
So-
of going outside to play the actual game more. But if you really want to sit and sit and play FIFA,
By that,
that
logic,
is your prerogative.
by that logic, why play as Batman? Go out and do actual
Because
go out and do actual vigilante shit.
because the same
Dark Knight Rises.
the same reason that me starting to skateboard at 21 was not the greatest idea is because now I'm afraid of breaking a bone.
Yeah. Hey, look, I think sports games are good in a party environment when you're with a bunch of people and you play it. But for me, I wouldn't be able to play it every single day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Be like, oh, I want to play every single day.
I think sports games are more of a multiplayer game in a social setting, but as a like a go-to game, you can't. It's just not as fun as like a storytelling
I
game,
did
as an
play the
action
career
game.
mode. I did play the career mode. But after
It
a
just
while,
gets
it's just
repetitive. It's the
repetitive.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Repetitive.
That's kind of I feel like that's a problem with a lot of games, especially now though with like games as a service
Yeah.
and like a lot of your just never ending like say what's the Warzone and Apex
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, yeah. I feel like that's where a lot of that's going in your multiplayer games like Call of Duty and Halo and stuff. Like the pay to win system
Yeah.
is like
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know. I'm not a huge fan, but I can see where all right, think about like Netflix or Prime or something, you're paying a subscription to a service. Like say if you're talking about a battle pass or something, you pay a subscription to Netflix, right? To watch their movies. So if you are not paying Netflix, your only option to watch movies is go buy the DVD, right? Or like you can go out and do the hard work and buy the DVD and spend your money, or you can just wait for it to come on TV and deal with whatever's on TV. So like paying for a service in a video game, kind of get in one way,
I mean,
but it's still just evil.
the original OG hack GTA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
GTA?
Yeah, you
Cheat codes?
put in cheat codes and you get some random ass hacks.
Oh yeah, you're talking like Xbox and PlayStation, like like just cheat codes in general.
Just cheat codes.
Yeah, okay, right.
It's not the same thing as pay to win, though.
No,
Like,
of course.
Pay to win is like, man, they're gonna make it so hard for you to progress through the game. It's gonna demotivate the fuck out of you.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to get ahead, it's like, damn, should I just pay for this shit and just get it? Sometimes, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when you play with players online, like they've maxed out everything and they're
They're
just
killing
like
you, bro. You
hunting you
step
down.
in. And
You
But, like,
step in and you're dead.
But how did they get there? They paid money. This is the thing. I understand maybe why it's done from a business point of view, but I hate the idea that it's done because, like, where's the sense of progression then?
Yeah, you're just trying to fill the void with some money. You've got deeper issues, mate. You need to go to therapy.
What if it's a reflection of our society? Like some people pay their way to get things they want, and
No,
Some
it
people have
is.
to
We're
work that
late.
way.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
literally what
if you want to get philosophical about it, if you want to talk that sort of shit, then yeah, absolutely.